I wanted to do a quick video on this. Um, just a little bit on the ghettogaggers situation. This is exactly what I was trying to address when I was talking about that whole video with Onna Sweet Ginger, where she's talking about light skin privilege and basically the benefits that you get when you are lighter than other black women. And, I think I left out her name and things of that nature because I don't know, I just felt like, considering we're talking about strippers and things of that nature, I just thought to leave her name out of it. But this time, I guess I won't. Anyway, she was talking about the whole thing with like strippers and how she felt like there was a benefit for being lighter skinned, because black men sometimes would tip her more for being a stripper. And, I actually related a bit to that video to an extent. I've never been a stripper, of course. I don't know, that would be weird. I could never interact with black men like that up close and up front. I would honestly give off I would give off an energy, a vibe that I feel like basically they are diseased or someone I don't want to at all have anything to do with in any contact situation, even if that's just stripping and nothing actually intimate. But that would be something I just can't do face to face with them. Anyway, but I don't judge strippers, really. I mean, they do what they do. But my point was, I kind of related to what she was talking about in the sense of line of work that I did with like as a PSO and things of that nature. And to me, it's kind of like that's a major thing for me. Why I've always been very vocal on the whole thing of black men definitely being ghetto gaggers because I've specifically constantly gotten a lot of black men who would come to my page expecting me to basically fulfill their fantasy of, them being dominated by a white woman or whatever, and, to me, it's just kind of like when it comes to phone sex, I'm okay with it, because, I mean, there's minimum interaction with that individual and stuff. You're just talking to them, you know. So that's not an issue to me, but I mean, the main thing out of the whole situation with Onna Sweet Ginger's video, I felt like, okay, you could claim that there's a privilege or that somebody is benefiting by not looking like a black person and therefore being treated differently and therefore cashing in on that, in my case, in that situation, financially being benefited. But the thing is, here, I could also talk about the fact that in those situations, I also knew I couldn't post myself into the ebony side, for example, and I couldn't get money off of enacting like some kind of slave act or something like that, or some kind of ebony fetish altogether, You can't benefit off of one thing. That's why to me, I'm like, I don't see light skin as a privilege because dark skinned black women can benefit in another way. Do you mean to tell me that dark skinned strippers don't get any money? You know what I mean? So, to me, that's a major point to me about basically the whole idea that light skin privilege exists. To me, I don't think it does because I'm like, well, dark skinned black women get their privilege because they get to the front of the line in those situations for people who prefer dark skinned black women in another regard, for another function. you know. So to me, that's why I think like a stripper would still benefit if they're a dark skinned black woman who's a stripper, or is say they are a PSO who's dark skinned, they would still benefit. They would be able to put themselves in the ebony side. And they could actually be at the top of the ebony side if they're darker skinned. I would assume someone darker skinned would benefit more than someone who is lighter skinned, because when someone is looking for ebony, they are looking for dark skin. So that would actually win for a dark skinned person. See how different events and different situations makes someone benefit. All you have to do is put yourself in a position where you win, basically, and you benefit from a specific situation. So that's why, to me, with the whole thing of ghetto gaggers and things of that nature, I wanted to talk about this a little bit more in depth, because I was like, that's actually what I was talking about with taking a benefit. I don't think getting a benefit out of being a PSO and people not registering you as black when they see you means that you are benefiting from light skin privilege. You're just benefiting from your phenotype. Just like a dark skinned black woman benefits from her phenotype situations as well, you know. And responding lastly to the whole situation where people were thinking that I was lying about ghetto gaggers and dark skinned black men and black men in general wanting to be degraded by white women and things of that nature. No, that's personal experience there. I've literally been paid $100 an hour for basically just telling black men different things, basically, that were degrading, basically. You know, for example, like calling someone a slave boy, or talking to someone about, submitting to white cock, or like calling a black man the N word and so forth. You know, honestly, when it first started out, I was not comfortable even saying those things. I was like stuttering and like, what next? And then I realized how many words there are to basically degrade a black man. You can go on a whole long hour, maybe even longer if you're really creative, you know. So I mean, like, that's a benefit for me, but I don't see it as a light skin privilege, you know. And I honestly don't see what the privilege would be if people acknowledged you were black, but they just thought you were lighter. I see it in the sense of not looking black, but actually just being lighter. I don't know that benefit, but I've never experienced that either. So that's all I really have to say on this. I know this video is a bit all over the place because I wanted to just touch back on my last video on ghetto gaggers to explain where I was speaking from and what I was talking about and why I was talking about it, and also to touch back to the last time I talked about ghetto gaggers and black men, basically, and black men trying to basically pay women hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars, especially in like cases where it's like escorts and things of that nature. They pay a lot of money to people to degrade them and to make them basically ghetto gaggers, you know. So I'm not just speaking from a place of ignorance. I actually have firsthand experience with it. Not as an escort, as a PSO. And PSO is phone sex operator, so it's just working the phones. But still, I have some experience with it, and that's what I was speaking from. So that's all I have to say in this video. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and tell me what you think below. Comment down below. Have a great day. Bye.